Why would any employer want to hire a beginner when they could easily hire a graduate fresh out of college or someone with years of experience under their belts? It's because of the simple fact that most jobs don't justify hiring someone with 10 years of experience. If you need a web developer, maybe you don't want to hire an elite developer that worked at Facebook for 10 years, that has a big ego, that demands an unreasonable pay. Not every company wants to pay $150,000 a year for someone with 10-15 years of experience when they could just as easily put in a little effort training you to do the same job for half the salary. In the end, you're still getting a pretty great $75,000 a year salary, but for the company, if they have 5 positions like that, they end up saving nearly $400,000 a year by going with people who are less experienced like you. And on top of that, people with years of experience have years of habits. They've built up an ego, and they're usually not very open to changing how they do things. This is why for my business, I actually prefer hiring beginners. Beginners are open-minded, they're adaptable. They don't have any preconceived notions about how things should be done. They are a blank slate. There's a reason why society has a saying, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. It's because there is some truth to it. Experienced employees become set in their ways, and this is a massive advantage you have over them. You can learn faster, you can jump on new trends faster, you can come up with new ideas better thanks to your fresh set of eyes. Experienced employees are also gonna naturally be older. They're not going to be as passionate or enthusiastic as you are. They're not going to be in the know about the latest trending things. And to top it all off, if you're an employer hiring for a remote position, all of that pedigree stuff about what school you went to, what degree you have, what companies you've worked at, all of that goes out the window. Because at the end of the day, employers who are hiring remote only care about one thing, and that is results. And if you can convince them that you're competent, which we're going to go over how, while displaying the other qualities we just talked about, there is going to be no shortage of remote opportunities for you. But which opportunity will fit you most? See, contrary to popular belief, you do not want to work on your weaknesses. You don't want to be a well-rounded person, because as we've covered earlier, well-rounded people don't get hired. In this stage of your life, you want to double down on your strengths. Most of us can probably relate to really sucking at a subject in school. For me, it was biology. I despise biology. And yet the school system teaches you that if you suck at something, you can't quit. No, you just have to double down, focus on that weakness, suffer through it, even though there are other things that you're actually good at that you could be focusing on. The problem with this is that it's incredibly stupid. In the real world, if you're not naturally inclined towards something, if coding, for example, just goes against every ounce of your being, and you'd rather slam your head against the keyboard than try to code, but you still try to pursue this path because man, coders make so much money. It's a prestigious title that would make my parents proud. If you go against who you are like this, you are gonna get eaten alive by people who are naturally inclined towards coding, who do feel like coding is second nature to them. It will be a losing battle. So don't work on your weaknesses. Go into an arena where you're like the smart kid in class. Go into the arena that does feel like second nature to you, where you do get into flow super easily and time just passes by. That's the arena you want to be playing in. This is your life we're talking about, so why not put as many odds as possible in your favor? And the great thing is, everyone has an arena in life like this where they're naturally inclined towards it. Everyone has a place in this world. How do I know that? Because this world was created by humans. You are human. So naturally, there's gonna be some niche out there that would be the perfect fit for you. Unfortunately, most people only try one remote job, they find out it's not the right fit for them, and then they just throw their hands up in the air and say, well, remote jobs aren't for me. That is not gonna be you. If you start learning one remote job and you find out it's not gonna last long term with you, quit and try a different one. In fact, keep quitting and trying a different one until you land on the one you're happy with, because there are a ton of options for you to choose from. And in the next section, we're gonna help you find it. Because screw working on your weaknesses.